All right, my guys. This is actually just a review or an update to SHIB being that we didn't have time to put out the December SHIB, and we're likely just going to be putting out a short for January, just based on the health issues we had earlier in the month and everything that's just kind of like piled on top of it. But in any case, we're doing this by special request. One of our oldest customers, one of our first supporters. So shout out to Yo out there. Um, so far this looks pretty accurate on the 1 month scale. So we had highs over here on the fourth. Well, actually, we had a low on the third, high on the fourth, and you can see we had a low here on the third, a high on the fourth, and then we go into lowest lows, which I had for roughly the seventh. But looking at the ruins, which I've been mentioning more and more, seem to be becoming more and more accurate determination indicators of timing than the cards. The cards are more like the pattern. The ruins are giving me more the timing at this point. And so there's like this double low going on right here. And you can see we have this double low right here. That's on what, the 9th, 10th? So we have it for the 8th, 9th. So one day off. But that's that sharp unicursal hexagram drop. And then out of that low, we have this rally increasing with momentum. Well, first off, this here on the 10th, that's the virtue card. Three crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level. There was a sharp drop in there, bringing us back to the low before this rally increasing with momentum moving forward in time. Yeah, so I would expect that here. Actually went a little haywire on these last few days. Well, we had that as a possible location of a high, and it looks like here on the 11th ended up being a peak, but not so much a high. I was advised not to chase that rally, and you can see this little rally that we hear on the 12th. Matter of fact, I think this isn't actually off, guys. I was just reading the date wrong. I was looking at this like it was the 11th for whatever reason. So this actually looks like it's on point. This is really solid. And with that said, I would expect us to kind of poke into this territory here. I'm going to move this just a little bit. So it's it should poke up into like this territory right here. And if you're new to the channel, these ellipses are, you basically, anybody with the monthly access subscription, in the case of SHIB, it's covered by our monthly access subscription. So anybody with that monthly access subscription has access to the link that I post in the Discord channel for the live trading view, or the live Discord trade alerts and live updated trading view chart link. Anybody, so they can basically click in here and follow along. So I'm going to put this like, okay, Hermes, I'll get you in a sec, buddy. There you are, buddy. Either way, I think that there's a good chance. There's a good chance that the high has already been established here. Either that, or it's going to be like tomorrow or the next day. There's some possibility of one around the 20th and the 22nd, but there's also strong possibility of a low in there. And I think the strongest probable location of the lowest low is going to be over here on the 28th. But based on the fact that the overall trend card is the power card, it's very likely to be the same low. And also likely to come within close time proximity to a high there on the 27th or the 29th even. Yeah, it's going to be the same low there, guys. So this is a little iffy because we would really need to see a pretty big move here. But either way, I see there on the 28th a revisiting of those lowest lows. Anybody who's new to the channel, red ellipses indicate where I see troughs or lows or valleys form. Green are the opposite, highs, peaks, crests, that sort of thing. All right, next we're going to take a look at the 2024 year and see how that's panning out. Oop. And it looks like out of that low, there's a pretty, there's a real unexpected move to the upside, probably even pushing the upper end of range higher. So out at the low towards the end of the month, pretty big move higher. Interesting. And when I was doing this reading, I notated the Chariot card. I got clairkinetically. We have the Chariot card here on the 30th. So I'm going to circle that off. That might be an important date. There is some indication of highs here. It's not strong like in some of the other readings, but I will note that there is some indication there. So overall, this is looking pretty solid so far. A little iffy if it's going to continue because we need to see another high here. As far as the 2024 reading, or excuse me, that's 2025. The 2024 reading, we had a highest high here in March. I had possibly another highest high in June, but we've seen quite often these ruins up here in the corner for some reason when they get interfere with the sticky note, they can throw me off. We did have a lowest low though when we came very, very close. Right? Very close. And then we had lowest lows in September, October. Looks like I was off a little bit by a couple weeks, but you see how there's like a double low in here. And then that's followed by possibly highest highs again. But I would be very careful because we've got that unicursal hexagram at the high correlator position here for SHIB coin. But this one, if you're wondering, guys, this SHIBcoin 2024 reading was created on 9/24/23, 11:12 p.m. Eastern time. The 2025 reading, which hasn't come out yet, and the January reading, which hasn't come out yet, it's part of a chunk of readings that I wanted to get out a year ahead of time, and I laid them, and then got so backed up. Like the entire year, I've been playing catch up. There's just been so much work. But the January SHIBcoin reading that we're going to be looking at later in the next SHIBcoin video to come out created February 5th. The 2005 created October 3rd. From the standpoint of the multi-year reading for 2020 through 2029, with this unexpected move higher, ending a decline there in 2023. And then we should see a newer high. I think we should see a higher price level, guys. Probably towards the, if it's not going to be at the end of the year here, it's going to be, remember these 1 year readings, sometimes you need to give them as much as 2 years wiggle room. It's the sequence of chart events that's as outlined by the prediction that's most important to follow. Usually on point to the year, but not always. Like something like it coming to fruition just at the edge of the following year, very, very likely to happen. And you can see here the 2025 card is one of the most bullish cards in the deck. So after making a new high, we should see more movement to the upside. When we look at the 2025 reading, which I'm not sure is actually out yet, but I have the markup done. The 2025 reading is super bullish, guys. We successfully find support after a breakout on a multi-year scale. We successfully find support and most likely to be at a higher price level. So SHIB, I'm super, super bullish on for 2025. So if the 20th ends up being a high, like we're up in this range over here, right? So if it ends up being up here, then I would say that's a good short opportunity. But don't be hasty, guys. Like, wouldn't it be better to just sit tight rather than try and short and be nimble? Wouldn't it be better just to sit tight in a long position knowing what's going to happen in 2025? Look at the January card, guys. It's a success card. Actually, I don't think the 2025 SHIB has come out yet. But overall, this should be pretty bullish. There should be somebody speaking right towards the end of the year impacting SHIBcoin. You don't necessarily want to be relying or trusting exactly what's being said there. Anyhow, that's an update for SHIBcoin, guys. We're going to get into the 2025 reading and the January 2025 reading relatively soon, before the end of the month. And I apologize for the daily readings that aren't edited and the shorts that should be longer videos. We just got to play catch up, guys. We've got to get ahead. It's necessary. So thanks for understanding. With that said, I'm going to roll. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.